Hey, welcome back, guys. We're going to do a second field trip. I'm just going to show you some little things here. He was telling me how if he sets this dirty, kind of broken up hive, he likes to pick the little caps off with a fork or something and then drain all the honey out. But then he can set this dirty, kind of scratched up hive back out, this panel back out in there. And even though it's unclean and so forth, and some of the cell wall structures are a little bit broken up and so forth, he said within a week they'll come in and just clean it all out and rebuild anything they need to rebuild and then refill it with honey. He said within a week it'll be cleaned up just like this one. That's really clean. It has some cell structures. So I thought that was really interesting. They're just really meticulous in cleaning things up and rebuilding things and can do it really, really fast. They're kind of a fascinating creature.
You up? Yeah, I picked it up.
He's gonna have me put this bee helmet on.
I don't see it.
Has a helmet and a netting around it. And then I'm wearing long sleeves and I wore pants and boots, so hopefully I'll keep from getting stung.
I found it.
There's some gloves down there too. We're gonna put on. And he's gonna get a smoker going. So what is this thing?
This is a smoker, and you light it, and before you get into the bees and tear into them, you give them some smoke, and there's a lot of different.
So you just put some wood shavings in
Yeah,
there?
wood shavings, twigs.
From his lathe. His wood lathe. Twigs, anything.
Anything that will burn and smolder. And then you give the bees a puff of smoke. And there's a lot of different reasons why some people says they think it's a forest fire, and so they try suck in all the honey they can, and then they get tired, and then the thing I think it does is it masks the like when you squish a bee, it sends out other bee sends out smells of alarm. And then you kill a bee, smash him, then the other bees kind of get all in a
riled up.
Yeah, get riled up, exactly. And I think it's because of the pheromones these bees are sending to each other.
Yeah.
So your smoke covers all that up.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of
So it interferes with their communication.
Exactly. And that to me makes more sense than
Anything else.
any main hive.
So you said this hive is kind of nice?
Yes, it's a mellow hive.
And you were telling me that we're doing this right around 12:30, 1 o'clock. You said that's good?
Yes, because most of the bees are out, not most of them, but a lot of them are out foraging. So each hive is approximately about 70,000 bees. And it's better to do it in the afternoon when 20,000 of them are flying around somewhere else and not around us. So
Less chance to get stung.
yeah. And in the mornings, they're just like people. They're more moody.
Yeah.
And when it rains, if it's stormy, you don't go mess with your bees. They don't like to be messed with during the storms.
Film me and my get up. It's rolling. So. I should be safe if I can keep my hand protected and try to work the camera with a bare hand.
Okay. And this right here is called a hive tool. What a bee does is makes what they call propolis, and it's really sticky. I mean, it's like glue. And you can't get these frames apart without prying them out.
Oh, so they're all stuck together.
So they're all stuck together, and it's like an insulation, a bee insulation. They'll put it in any crack or hole just to keep spiders out, ants out, and the cold wind out. The hardest part of beekeeping is keeping the fire lit. All right.
Think I should cover this hand?
I think you'll be all right for right now.
Okay.
If they start You tell when a bee's mad at you if he starts hitting you in the head. You know, that's a warning. They'll
Okay.
warn you first.
I'm gonna, as we get closer, I think I'll put the glove on and then just let the camera roll the whole time.
That might be a good idea. We're gonna go out to this tall one.
So you have 6 stands out here.
Yeah.
They all have bees in them?
No, the only one that has bees right now is that tall one.
The tall one.
The other ones of all winter died, and I just never replaced them this year.
So he said it was a rough winter and a lot of the bees died out. He hasn't ordered them back. Put my glove on real quick. And I'll pick this back up. Okay.
Yeah, be careful. There's holes and everything else out here, Joe. When we work with bees, I like to work from the behind so I don't get in their flight pattern.
Okay.
But I mean, you can stand here.
So they're coming in and out of
Yeah,
the bottom.
like if you want to get a close up right here, you can watch them. And these bees some of them have these yellow spots like that one does. I don't know what kind of bee or where they came from.
So do you have different bees coming?
Yeah, these are Italian bees. There's a whole bunch of different kinds of bees, but these are Italian. See how they kind of...
Yeah, you hear them.
And basically what you're doing is warning them too that you're here. Like you just puff smoke in it. Oops. Sorry, bee. Okay, and then...
They're buzzing all around us right now, hitting me in the head.
Are they hitting you?
One did.
Yeah.
He said that means they're angry.
They're not happy with it. But can you blame them?
So that little bit of smoke probably calmed them.
I don't know if it's called calming. It's just
It's
masking
masking.
their warning signals.
Yeah.
Then I just puff up through here. This is a pretty big hive. I mean, you can see the bees flying around, but you can hear them.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I usually put this is what they call an outer cover.
So you don't have to wait very long after puffing just a
No,
little bit of smoke in.
This is called an inner cover. And see that? It's stuck on there. I can't. So you
Because
take
of their pheromones, or not pheromones, what did you say?
It's called
porcine.
propolis.
Porpoise.
Porpolis.
We're probably saying it wrong, but oh well.
See, it's sticky.
Oh, yeah.
It's like gum. Can you see it stretch there?
So how often do you get into here?
The less, the better. Maybe once. Lately, this summer, I've only been coming out maybe every other week, just to check. Now, this box I just put on a week ago. Okay.
This top box.
This top box I just put on a week ago.
So it was just the
we'll-
2 brooder boxes where the
Yep.
eggs are being
Yep,
laid and
these
the
are
queen
brooding
is.
boxes, and these are what they call honey supers. These 3 boxes are the ones that I will be able to harvest honey from.
Okay.
And they always start in the middle and work their way out.
Hopefully I'm filming right. It's hard for me to see through my mesh.
Yeah. Okay. We will see what they have been doing. All right. See the shiny stuff? That's honey. They're filling them full of honey, which is great.
So do they make honey in their body and they're putting it in there?
They go get it from the flowers, and it goes into their stomach, and then what they do is spit it out into somebody else's, another bee. They have tongues that are hollow like straws, and they just hook their tongues together and transfer the honey from one bee to another bee, and that's what gives them the enzymes.
Really?
Yep.
And then that bee spits
And
it out?
then they spit them out into these, and then it has to be a certain moisture before they'll cap it. And how they know that, I don't know. But they'll sit there and they'll flap their wings and dry this out, dry the water content out.
So get it to a certain moisture content, flapping their wings over a full cell
Yep.
of that saliva honey.
Yeah.
Once it
Some people call honey is bee puke.
bee vomit,
And see
and
these?
then they cap it over with some
Right here.
so
See,
you can
those are capped.
So they cap those two cells.
Yep. These are still filling them full of honey, and when they get full and they get them fanned down to a certain acidity or texture or something, then they'll put this really fine cap of.
See some of them with their heads stuck down in there.
Yep. They're puking out honey.
That's awesome. This is really, I could see why, like just watching you do this and doing these field trips, I'm like, I want to do bees.
It's fun. It really is. But you gotta just be careful that you don't kill the queen. Now the queen should not be up here, so I'm not concerned. The queen should be in those two boxes down there.
Yeah. So he shouldn't be hurting her.
Did you remember when I said that this part of it is pollen and eggs and whatever, and then the honey is from the side along the top?
That's down in these lower boxes?
Yes. And the queen usually will not go past the honey line.
She'll stay in the pollen zone.
So she will not lay eggs in these three boxes. And
because these three are just honey.
Or just honey. But if these boxes get too overcrowded, she will start laying eggs in here, which is fine because once the eggs hatch, they clean them out, they fill them full of honey, and you don't even notice it. Only the color.
When you come out to check this during the summer, just routine checking, do you check every panel or just?
No, some people do, but I don't like to play in them.
So has this been built up?
Yeah, okay, this is called burr comb, and I don't know why they do that.
Do they fill it with honey?
Sometimes they do, but I don't know why they do that.
It seems like it'd take a lot of energy to build that.
Yep.
What's on the other side?
This one's they're just filled. See, there is honey in there too,
Yeah, some of those look almost like horizontal. Those cones. Look at these guys right here with their heads down there, putting honey in.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's funny that they're not like going crazy on us.
Yeah, that's why it's a mellow hive. I love this hive. I had one hive last year, which over here, and it was mean. And I'd go get into it, and it was just, they'd just start to come dinging me in the head. And I did not like them whatsoever. Okay, let's go down one more. I'll show you one.
Probably has a lot of more honey in it.
It should have capped honey in it.
Does the bottom of this top box have a solid bottom to it, or is it open?
Nope, it's all open. Some people put what they call queen excluders in them because the queen's bigger and she can't get up. But a lot of times the bees can't get through it either.
Okay.
And it just, you know, you let nature do what nature does.
Yeah. So he just set that top one on the ground.
Yeah, I set it on.
He's gonna smoke this.
I set it on top of the other thing here. Okay, and that's what you've seen there. It's burr comb. And a beekeeper don't like burr combs. It's just a mess. So you just scrape it off, and you can keep it and make whatever you want out of it.
What would you make out of
lip
it?
balm.
Lip balm?
Yep.
Yeah, I saw you in there on your wood lathe, waxing your wood.
Wax wood with it. You make furniture polish with it.
Furniture polish. Can you seal your leather boots? Or is it
I'm
not
sure you
break down?
could, but I don't.
Haven't tried.
Oh man, that was stuck in there good. But yeah, see the bees are leaving us alone. This is a perfect hive.
Seems really mellow compared to what I would have pictured in my mind. That we were gonna come out here and get.
See, and that's the misconception of of bees.
Most hives are pretty mellow.
Most of them are, and the only time they'll attack you is if they feel threatened. A bee will not sting you unless you feel threatened, or if you start pushing on him or pinching him, then he'll sting. Because the bee knows that she will die. Okay, see that honey dripping?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Nice.
See, they'll look down in there. You can see. Come back here.
Upset them. Hopefully you guys can see that. I can't see what you're seeing because I got a mesh screen on my face. I think you can see.
That all up. We'll put it back in.
I'll turn sideways here. I can just see shapes, so I think you're looking down the slot. You can see all these bees down there crawling out. It's hard for me to see with this mesh on my face.
Take another one.
I just can't see the screen. I can see. Unreal. There's an ant.
Yeah, ants love that. But bees hate ants and they will attack quickly. But each hive has its own smell, like I was saying before.
Where'd you set that one? You just
Right
set
here.
it down right there.
Yep.
Bees are just keep on working, doing their thing.
And they will, each bee has its own smell. So when a bee, like if a bee from this hive lands over here and tries to get in, the other bees, there's guard bees, and they'll smell that bee and know that that bee does not belong in here,
So
and kick him out.
Guard bees down there where they're coming in and out. They'll kick them out, huh?
Yep.
Will they kill them or just like
No,
say, hey?
they'll just kick them out. They'll fight a little bit, but they don't want the bee in here because when the bee comes in and says, hey, there's a lot of honey in here and we could use that, he'll go to his hive and say, I know where some easy honey is. And then you have robbing. And when another beehive robs, that is you don't come out here.
Because they're going crazy.
Yeah.
Does that happen very often?
Not very often, but you try to do everything you can to avoid it. Oh, wow, this is stuck.
Need your tool.
This one's probably stuck because of honey. A bird comb on the bottom. There we go.
Yeah, a lot of honey. Those are caps, so you can see all the capped cells.
That honey right there is ready to harvest.
So they filled all those honey cells and it's all ready, huh? Yeah,
Yep.
look at all that. See all those caps on there?
Feel how heavy that is.
Yeah, that is pretty heavy. Feels like I'm holding a couple bricks in my hand.
Yep.
It's a lot of honey. Honey weight.
And see the next one there is all capped too.
Hold that up and I'll just give them like 30 seconds of close-up of these bees working on these caps. Pretty cool, huh? I'm gonna put this so you can hear the hive. Put my microphone down in there. You guys hear that? Just that buzzing. Pretty cool. But you can, even though this is ready to harvest most likely, you're still gonna wait till October or so, or a few weeks,
Yep, middle of August usually.
Let me get the.
If I wait too long,
Here's the top lid.
the days get colder, and then the honey don't fall out.
Oh, okay.
Spin out.
Kind of.
So you really want the honey warm, or I'm out there with heater, and you just want it hot and miserable. But this right here is propolis. That right there.
Propolis.
Yeah, and if you get it on your clothes, it will not wash out.
Really?
It stains and it's nasty. It's just sticking. And they make a lot of this from pine gum from the trees and mix other stuff. I don't know what all else is in it. But you can sell that. if you wanted to harvest it, you could sell it for, it's expensive. Beauty shops like to buy it.
Really?
Nancy's daughter came up a couple weeks ago and we scraped some of it for her. Then she's going to mix it in alcohol and make some kind of a lotion out of it.
A lotion, huh?
I wouldn't want it on my face.
Might not come off. Hard to get them back in sometimes.
Yep. Anyway, that's what you do. And
Again, there's that slot that they come in and out of. Is that the only entrance and exit, this slot down here?
yeah, in the summer, yes. In the winter, I have a different kind of lid with an exit out here just in case the snow gets higher, so they have a chance to get out. Yeah, this is a good hive. It's a nice, mellow, not aggressive hive. This is a good one to show people.
So I'm not screaming and yelling.
Yeah, running down the road doing this. But yeah, no, beekeeping is fun. I thoroughly enjoy it.
It seems fun.
But once you get, 6 or 7 of them, it takes a lot of time. You gotta.
So does running just one stack, one hive, kind of normal for like a family? It just wants to get enough for themselves?
Yeah, the best thing to do actually, and they'll tell you, is to get 2 of them, so you can compare them all the time.
Okay.
So if you think this one's doing really good, and it's really not, you'll have something to compare it to, so you can. The first year, they say you won't get any honey out the first year, but the first year I did, I got honey, and I think it's because of where we live. I mean, where my cousin's at, he gets the spring growth, and then it's called I can't think of it when there isn't any flowers around. But around here in the mountains, there's always flowers, wildflowers somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You can go, you can hike up the hill.
Mm-hmm.
There's always flowers starting to bloom. We have such a different variety of flowers that bloom constantly all year that this is unheard of. Three honey supers, and they just started. I put this first one on in 1st of July maybe, and they'll fill these around here. They'll fill these within 2 weeks. And
So you'll keep stacking?
I know, because this will probably be full, and this one will be full and starting to cap about the time I want to harvest.
Okay.
So I'll harvest these 3, and then that will tell the bees, hey, we don't have enough honey for all winter, so they'll just start stacking it down here in these other 2 boxes. But this outer lid is just basically just more protection, inner lid, more protection. There's a hole in it just for ventilation, because it gets really warm in there with all those bees, and there's wax, and you don't want melting. This melts at fairly low heat, so you need just ventilation. And on a hot day, we don't get them around here that much, but every once in a while they'll do what they call bearding, and on the bottom you'll see all these bees hanging down here in a great big beard.
Really? On a hot day?
On a hot day, and they'll all be with their rear ends facing this way, and all of them will have their wings flapping, and they'll create a breeze that goes in there and out the top.
Really?
And that's how they keep the hive cool.
That's fascinating.
But if you notice, like these bees right here, see, they're flapping their wings, and they're trying to get
Others?
a flow going, or they're pushing smells through it, a pheromone smell, or just trying to get a breeze blowing to cool it, to keep things cool. But not a lot of pollen going in right now. It's mostly honey. They'll come out and then they'll take off and they'll go up about 3-4 feet and then they'll head out to wherever they're headed. And that's basically their flight pattern.
How far out do they fly from the hive?
They will forage for nectar up to 5 miles.
5 miles?
5 miles is what they'll go, yep. For a bee to get a teaspoon of honey, it visits over 1 million flowers.
Wow.
And for, I just read this the other day, for a tablespoon of honey or something like that, I can't remember, it takes 2 bees at least flight-wise twice around the world. Distance in flight.
Oh.
It's crazy.
So how often do they have to come, how many flowers do they hit before they come back?
It depends on how, like these ones, these weeds behind you, these are, I don't know what they're called, but they're a nuisance weed, but honeybees love them. And the clover right now is starting to blossom, and they love clover. But these are full of nectar, and if you pull the bottoms off, when I was a kid we used to pop these off and suck on them, and you could suck all the nectar out of the bottoms of these bees. These bees have probably got them already, but the bees love these. That's why I haven't sprayed them. But yeah, even the pine trees, like I said, the fir trees, they can get honey out of the pine nuts, pine cones.
Cool. And the cap goes back on, and then he leaves it alone for a couple weeks. Yeah.
Yep. The next time.
Well, you might be harvesting next time.
Yep. The next time I come, I'll probably just pop this off, look at it, and see if that's capped. I can see it by just looking at it. And then if it's capped, then I'll give you a call, and
we'll do field trip number 3.
Yeah. How I get the bees out of here is I put a foam board over the top of this and spray it with almond oil. Bees hate the smell of almonds. Can't stand it.
Almond oil, huh?
Almonds, yeah. And you spray it, and out in the hot sun, it's shining down on this black box, and it just drives them down. And then you take it, and most of the bees are gone. So you can just swipe their honey box.
Well, hopefully we'll be back in a few weeks when he harvests, and it works out for me to come back and do field trip number 3 when we get the honey out, and he'll spin it and show us how he processes it. I don't know if you can see me or not. I keep trying to push my glasses up my nose and keep poking my my neck. All right, guys. Thanks for coming. See ya.
If your nose itches, your nose will itch worse after you get this stupid thing on.
Can't turn off my cameras.
Yeah, that's a good hive. I mean, they're very, very calm. And see, they're not following me. Sometimes when they get mad at you,